Hi, it's Ronnie, and welcome to Pinkfresh Fridays, hosted by Joanne Bartel, where we'll all be using our Pinkfresh. And at the time, it is all from our stash because Pinkfresh is not doing their scrapbooking right now, but they're supposed to start again. I am pointing out the dies I'm going to use from Bramble Fox, and I think other than a couple of little pieces, all this is simply the best. But there's some scraps in there that I end up using and maybe a tag or something. But uh, it is all pink fresh. And I am going to put uh, a little bit of layering over here to the right. And I am going to make a tag out of that one. I had another piece planned to put here, but it was just one of those long tickets and I forget about it. But I will end up using it on the layout when I notice it laying over there. And I'm going to use that punch right there on the right hand side. Oh, I I also am using the corner rounder, but that one was from I got at Hobby Lobby. I will be putting some red wax twine in here. I get everything ready and sometimes scrapbook if I'm not recording with just the overhead light on, not the lights to make the video. And I put the red in there and it looked like it's going to go with everything else. My little grandson has Spider-Man on his shirt. And I thought, oh, that'll work fine. Well, once I was doing the video, it don't match at all. It's amazing the difference, but you can see how red it is there. And it is, I'm going to pick a olive green that matches one of the thinner stripes in that plaid paper. Now, I started to use a bigger die here, a different one, but I didn't have this color in anything big enough. I was using those little like post-it notes, with the washi tape maybe on what looks like on the paper. And so this one fit the best. So I am going to make it work. I'm going to wiggle it around and add to it. And yeah, make it work. Um, as you notice, this is blurry. It will correct itself in just a minute. I'm not sure if my camera is getting old, which it is. I mean, I've had it quite a few years, or what, but it will correct itself in a minute. And I don't think it gets blurry any other time. I was pretty stressed out when it happened. I thought, is it going to stay this way? Because that's happened before, but it didn't. See, now it's all nice and clear. Thank goodness. I mean, it stresses me out. Um, I had this half a tag from one of the sheets, and I first thought I wasn't even thinking when I did it. I'd cut it in half and I glanced it. I thought, well, I have no place to tuck the other half behind. So I pulled out, I don't know if you can see it. There's a ticket. I guess it's turned over. Yeah, it's turned over. I can see it. It's white on the other side, apparently, because I can see something the right shape in that tray. But I was going to use that ticket and make do, only I forget. So it ends up this way, but which is good because I end up using the ticket somewhere else and I like it there. I had this, I cut a circle one day and decided it was too big for whatever I wanted it for. So I cut a smaller one and I started to throw that away. And I thought, no, I might can use it for something. And look here, I can. It works just fine. And I did add a piece of scrap behind it because I wanted to make sure I got it in the right place without having to struggle to get there. Um, those little books, they were all like separate with white in between. And I liked them. And I thought, boy, I'd like to use them on the layout. But I cut them apart. And then I think it was like two or three. It was three levels of cardstock. It was a thin white cardstock behind every other one, and placed them on here. I don't know if they're the same order whatsoever because I cut them apart and they were like all over the desk. Then I took a piece, well, it's the border, and I took a piece of the border and put behind it so I'd have something to mount them to, and I lined the bottoms up with the border. And I like it really well now because it is dimensional. And I'll probably be the only one that ever notices it on the layout. Oh, y'all see me put that white cardstock behind the tag? It was smaller than the tag. Well, it was to balance out this little chipboard that says adventures. And I forgot all about it. Even when I put that little strip of cardstock behind there, I didn't think about it. But I am glad I remembered it. And I'm putting on this Totally Loving This right now because that's my little grandson, the youngest one, and he is totally loving that bench. They were at, um, well, it's a museum here in town, and it's named after the woman that lived in that. It's a house. It's a very majestic house, and it was probably built in the 1800s. It's an old one, but it's gorgeous. And she donated it when she passed away. And it went a lot of years not getting much done to it. And then finally they started some fundraisers so that it would get some stuff done to it and made it into a museum. And once a year in the fall, even though it looks like summer here, it is the fall. Um, the kids go. I took the older grandkids when they were smaller, and my daughter-in-law and her sister took their kids, well, her sister's grandkids and her kids, um, to this, and they love it. They have tables set up, and the kids get to do arts and crafts, and then they have quite a few other things. But they also have this adorable bench with a butterfly, and so he is spreading his wings and flying. And his daddy didn't get to go; he had to work. But that's one reason I put the adventures on there. As soon as I seen it, I thought of him. He always asks the kids, "You want to go on an adventure?" And he likes taking them, so he does hate to miss out. Um, need to mention. I told myself to make sure I did this next, and I almost forgot. But I want to mention that down there below, you'll find the links to everybody else that is doing the Pinkfresh variety with us today. So they will be pulling out their Pinkfresh and using it for their layouts. And here I think I'm done. And I'm putting my enamel dots on there. And when I get down to that cluster on the bottom, I'm looking at the layout thinking, do I need some more enamel dots somewhere? And that big white space up there kept bothering me. And I thought, you know, some enamel dots would look good up there. It'd be like a triangle of enamel dots. And so I will be adding a cluster over there in all that white space. And see that little tag there? It says "Can't Stop Smiling." And I wanted to put it on the picture, and I thought, well, I'm not going to glue it down till I decide if there's not somewhere else I could put it. And I forget to glue it down when I go to take the pictures. It just happened to move when I went to line up my layout so I could take the pictures. Otherwise, it probably laid there crooked for them. But I will end up gluing it down. And there's the ticket I was talking about that I was going to add to the layering over on the right. But I'm glad it was still there. And I cut off a little bit of that thinking that would be enough. I did not like the red that small. And so I'm going to make it bigger, but that piece is a little too big. But I wanted to kind of make it has like little chevron kind of sort of looking things on there. And I wanted to cut them where they would be more to looking like chevrons instead of just slashes. And so I trimmed off a little bit. And that little oval one says "In My Element." And I think that's it. Oh, I did add some more greenery up there since I had it in a couple spots already. I'm going to add that. And the enamel dots, I can't forget the enamel dots. I will be adding those too. And then I'll be done. But yeah, I probably could have just put the greenery up there on the top. It looks fine looking at the video now. However, uh, at the time I thought, well, I think it'll look cute having some on the bottom, which I still do. But I think it looked fine with just on the top also. And here's my enamel dot. So yeah, I am done with my layout. And I had a whole lot of fun making it, especially once I got the red to match. Well, not match because, that one didn't end up staying red. The twine didn't end up staying red. But it turned out super cute. Of course, any layout with my little grandson on there is going to turn out super cute. Um, and there's that cute little camera with the frame that finally made it on the layout. And you can see the dimension on the books here. But like I said, looking at the layout, nobody else might notice it. And here's my make do viewfinder. That's what it is, viewfinder over there from Bramble Fox. And uh, there's the numbers from Bramble Fox also. And uh, I just cut it apart and put some on the top and some on the bottom. And I started to put fly with lowercase on the smaller, on the LY. But I didn't know what to do with the Y. I had planned just to put it over there by the viewfinder. But then I seen that spot right there and I thought, oh, it looked great there. So capital letters it is. But I want to thank y'all so very, very much for joining me today while I created my layout. I really appreciate that. I know there's plenty of videos out there you could be watching. But check out the list down there below and the links and see what everybody else is doing with their Pinkfresh. And have a happy, scrappy week. Bye.